When a week ago today, Mr. Speaker, I asked the House to fix this afternoon as the occasion for a statement, I feared it would be my hard lot to announce the greatest military disaster in our long history. The enemy attacked us on all sides with great strength and fierceness. The enemy began to fire with cannon upon the beaches by which alone the shipping could approach or depart. Sometimes more than 100 strong in one formation, to cast their bombs upon the single pier that remained, and upon the sand dunes on which the troops had their only shelter.
At this fateful hour we turn, as our fathers before us have turned in all times of trial, to God the Most High.
Meanwhile, the Royal Navy, with the willing help of countless merchant seamen, strained every nerve to embark the British and Allied troops. 220 light warships and 650 other vessels were engaged. They had to operate upon the difficult coast, and often in adverse weather, under an almost ceaseless hail of bombs and an increasing concentration of artillery fire.
Ramsgate, we got charts, and the other boats seemed to have trickled off behind. Well, we were fairly fast and had rather left them. So we pushed over to Dunkirk on our own. And they started to pour on board of us, and down below, Rogers, as arranged, was stowing them down below.
That was your son?
That was my son, yes. And one of the naval ratings was tallying them on board. When he got about 50 down below, I asked him how he was getting on. And he said, oh, plenty of room yet. And at 75, I asked him how he was then. Oh, he said, getting a bit crowded. So then we took the rest on deck.
Were you attacked on the way?
Yes, we had lots of fun on the way. The first one was a couple of enemy bombers had a shot at it, and fortunately, Worcester, HMS Worcester, was just passing us at the time, and she drove them off. But then we had lots of other escapes from bombing and machine gunning until we got over the other side.
It was in conditions such as these that our men carried on with little or no rest, for days and nights on end, making trip after trip across the dangerous waters, bringing with them always men whom they had rescued. The numbers they have brought back are the measure of their devotion and their courage. A miracle of deliverance achieved by valor, by perseverance, by perfect discipline, by faultless service. Sir, we must be very careful not to assign to this deliverance the attributes of a victory. Wars are not won by evacuation.
The Battle of France is over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the survival of Christian civilization.
We are told, sir, that Herr Hitler has a plan for invading the British Isles. This has often been thought of before.
What if I put it to you all that we might, if we ask nicely, get very favourable terms from Mr. Hitler if we enter into a peace deal with him right now? What would you say to that?
Never.
If the worst came to pass and the enemy were to appear on those streets above, what would you do?
Fight the fascists.
Fight them with anything we can lay our hands on.
Broom handles if we must, street by street.
Sir, I have myself full confidence that if all do their duty, we shall prove ourselves once more able to defend our island home, to ride out the storm of war, and to outlive the menace of tyranny, if necessary for years, if necessary alone.
Now they're going into the public shelters. This is not a pleasant way to spend the night, but the people accept it as their part in the defense of London. These civilians are good soldiers.
We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
Yet the People's Army ignores the bombs and the spent shrapnel which rains down constantly. Brokers, clerks, peddlers, merchants by day. They are heroes by night.
There